Well said. Hi guys, welcome to the Self-Leadership Reading Club. This is Jack, my son in the background, and Lily is dressing for a doll right now. They decided to join us today. Anyway, Self-Leadership Reading Club. What is that and why do we do it? I've been teaching leadership now for 22 years. We found that if you don't continuously improve your self-leadership, how on earth can you expect other people to follow you? And not only that, you want to be walking the talk, and continuous improvement should be on your top list of things to do for your own development. So we are currently reading Jack Canfields, The Success Principles. We are up to principle number 30. We're well over halfway. If you have missed any of the other episodes, please check it out on YouTube, elevates.com/book club. And today's principle is all about facing what isn't working. Failure is such a hard word to digest, to talk about, to think about, and reflect on. So let's see what Jack Canfield has to say, and then we will take it from there for ourselves. Great quote here. Our lives improve only when we take chances, and the first and most difficult risk we can take is to be honest with ourselves. We know that there's such power in honesty, in vulnerability. Very, very important. Here we have Lily with her doll. Thank you, Lily. If you're going to be more successful, you have to get out of denial and face what is not working in your life. Do you defend or ignore how hostile and toxic maybe your work environment was? Do you make excuses for your bad marriage? Are you in denial about your lack of energy, excess weight, your ill health, level of physical fitness? Maybe you're failing to acknowledge that sales have been in a constant downward trend for the last 3 months. Maybe you're putting off paying off a debt, confronting an employee who's not delivering. Successful people face these circumstances. Oh, apologize. Let me just switch off my phone there so it's not binging, binging, binging. But they face these circumstances and they take action. They take the appropriate action that's needed. So they don't just go, yes, this is happening. They make a plan and they take immediate action. Remember, that's where the power is, right? There is a signal sometimes that something's not right. For example, your teen comes home late from school again, strange notices show up in the company mail, odd comment from a friend or a neighbor, but sometimes we choose not to acknowledge any of these signs, but more often than not, we simply choose to ignore them. We pretend that nothing is amiss. I like the way he writes, don't you? If you're watching live, say hi. I'm Ella Bates, your leadership expert. If you are watching on the replay, #replay. To face something that's not working in your life usually means you're going to have to do something uncomfortable. And this is where change hurts. Change is super uncomfortable, but out of uncomfortableness, discomfort, comes something great, always on the other side. It means you might have to exercise, get more self-discipline, confront somebody, risk not being liked, ask for what you want, demand respect, so on and so forth. But you don't have to do what's uncomfortable things. You often defend tolerating a situation that doesn't work. So if you were to look now what you're tolerating, what you're just saying, it's just the way it is. We're going to talk about those particular words. And we wrote down some here. It's just what they do. You can't control teenagers this day. They're just venting their frustrations. It's got nothing to do with me. I keep my nose clean. It's none of my business. It's not my place to say. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to make waves. There's nothing I can do about it. Credit card debt like this is normal. These are all denial phrases that we use. That doesn't happen to people like us. I'll get fired if I say anything. Do you know the amount of times that I've heard that in a training class? I'll get fired if I say anything. Let me tell you, that's not true. That's not true. If you are doing something that is right, if you're doing something that is kind, if you're doing something that is going to create good impact, that should not be happening. There are laws to protect that. She's just at that age. I need these things to help me relax, right? All excuses. We hide behind them as myths. They are widely accepted views, and you do not have to accept them. You can make changes if you want to, but sometimes we don't even realize that we're in this denial. Does that ring true for you, maybe? Occasionally, we'll even make up reasons why something that is not working is working. I'm laughing because I just had the conversation with one of my coaches just the other day. Not realizing that if we just acknowledge the bad situation sooner, it would often be less painful to resolve. It would be cheaper. The circumstances might be more beneficial. The problems would be easier to solve. We could be more honest with people concerned. We would feel better about ourselves. We'd have more integrity, but we have to get past our denial. How many times have you been in a job, for example, and hopefully this is not the case with you, that you didn't like? So my first job was a really great opportunity. It truly was. For those that know, I went into law. initially. That's not what I do now. But I went into law, and I hated it. I hated it every day. And I just thought, well, it's just the way that lawyers are. And it's just the way it should be. And quite frankly, I got bullied. It was a horrible, horrible experience. I worked far too many hours. It was stressful. It was emotionally draining. And I made excuses up. And one day I was like, no, this is not how my life's going to be. And it was one of those defining moments. And I could have stayed an extra 2, 5, 10, or 20 years, as I know some people actually stayed there, because they thought that this is just the way it is. This is just how things are done here. And it doesn't have to be. You are in control. You are the captain of your own ship. You are CEO of your own life. Look at what you're denying right now. A big part, Jack Canfield says, getting out of denial, which is what we want to do, is to get good at recognizing bad situations and then deciding to do something about it. It always amazes me how difficult recognition and decision is for most people. Now, Jack Canfield says that. I think recognition is there, but it's making that decision to make the change is tough. It's hard. It takes a lot of courage, right? With many addicts, for example, their marriages fail, their businesses fail, they lose their house and even end up on Skid Row before they realize that their addiction is not even working for them. Fortunately, most of our problems are less severe than drugs, but that doesn't make the recognition of the decision any easier, does it? Are you in denial about what you'd really like to be doing? Worse yet, do you constantly remark on how happy and fulfilled you are when you're not? Are you living a lie? Look at social media. The amount of people that say, they're really happy. How do you know that? So many people on social media are showing what they want you to see. They don't show you when they're in an argument. They only show you when they're in love, right? They don't show them screaming at the kids when they're driving them nuts. They show the family picture, right? Things aren't always what you see. It's truly not. Workaholics, perfect example. High pressure schedule can't possibly work long term for anybody. But most workaholics will defend it with, well, I'm making really great money. This is how you get ahead, things like that. It's based on fear. Denial is based on fear. We know that. It's based on the notion that something even worse will happen once we stop denying and take action. We're really afraid to face a nail on the face. Many therapists will tell you, in spite of overwhelming clues that their spouse is having an affair, most patients won't confront their spouse over it, for example. Maybe, here's some situations that people are afraid to deal with. Teenagers smoking, supervisor leaving early, dumping their projects on you, business partner not fully participating, aging parents who really should have full-time care, house payment or expenses that are becoming unmanageable, a spouse who's withdrawn or disrespectful, not enough time for you or your kids. There's lots of situations. So Jack Canfield truly invites you to write a list. I'll tell you what he says. Start with the 7 major areas that you would normally set goals for: finances, career, business, free time, family time, health and appearance, relationships, personal growth, and then making a difference, contribution. Ask people what they believe is not working. What is not working? How can you improve on it? What requests can I make? What do you need? How can I help? What I need to do? What action steps do I need to do to get that situation to work better, to have better impact and give me a better quality of life? Do you need to talk to someone? Call a repairman, for example. Ask someone to help, learn a new skill, find a new resource, read a book, call an expert, make a plan to fix it, speak to your spouse, talk to your kids, step back and observe, whatever it is, choose an action and start to do it. Because when we take actions where real impact to success, that feeling of fulfillment and the quality of life. Then keep taking another action and then take another action and another action until it is resolved. So this week was all about stopping what's not working. Next Thursday, we're going to be talking about embracing change. I hope to see you on next week's episode. Well, in 2 days' time. We're Tuesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern. We're during COVID-19. Forgive me. I don't know what day it is half the time, let alone when a meeting is. I rely on my Outlook to go bing, 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 as I'm sure you're doing right now. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I'd love to hear more about what you think. Ella@ellabates.com. I wish you a wonderful day. Thanks so much for joining us, guys.